You have to see the distance from here to here. Assuming that it is 2 feet, as an example, 2 feet behind the subject, exactly 2 feet behind the subject over here, 2 stops of light will be less. There's a law for that. For a given point source of light, doubling the distance, the illumination falls to a quarter, not by a quarter. So, exactly 2 feet behind, it will become very dark. Now, if I want brightness, my background will have to come closer. I have to go back. So, if I have 10 feet between the flash and the subject, and 10 feet behind it will be dark. So, if I bring anything closer, if I bring the background closer, it will not be dark. But if I take the background away, it's going to be dark. Now, when the photographers, wedding photographers mostly when they don't really think. They use a wide angle lens. Why? Because it covers a big area and I have to be very close to my subject, so my flash power is reduced, right? I don't have to use powerful flash. If I go back, the flash has to throw in more light, no? So my battery gets exhausted very fast. So most photographers, not all, they photograph from close by using a wide angle lens and flash on it. So if this distance is 3 feet, as an example, 3 feet behind, it will go black or almost dark. So if your background is little further away, it's going to go jet black. You should be shooting weddings from a distance that is 2.5 times the camera to subject distance. Go back and shoot. Then your background will be properly illuminated. That means you will have to use a medium telephoto lens. But flash photography is by itself a topic which can be spoken for days and days and days together. It's not very simple at times. So I can control the quality of my background by the proper distance that I'm using. Yes, someone else wanted.
So, are there any disadvantages that you see on the digital medium compared to the album?
Your answer first before I answer.
So, the quality of pictures that come out are very different in digital. I feel it is sometimes analog was better, but I don't have any experience in that.
Analog was better. Okay.
I mean, developing that could be a very difficult thing, but
He may be right, I don't know. I'm a layman. So what do you guys say?
I think the process of analog is more fun, and I mean there's a lot more patience involved. So when you tend to make a picture, you put that extra thought process into it versus digital. You're given the luxury of you can make mistakes and then repeat. You can just shoot on burst. You can do. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. It's just that there's a lot of spoon feeding happening in digital versus when you. I think the fun of making a picture is really there in analog. At least for me, I found that to be the case. And even the process of I click a picture and I can't see it right then and there versus I sit for 7 days at home waiting for the thing to get developed and then go and see how it turned out, whether it got exposed or it didn't, or uh, sometimes even the focus might be off, but then you get to see the result much later, and that patience is something
So
which I
whether
like.
you want to give your opinion, please.
I think I enjoy it a lot.
What?
The analog.
Analog.
And
And you don't enjoy the digital. No, tell me why you don't enjoy. I'm not taking any side. I'm just asking.
because the first thing I think is that every time every role has different sensor. Different kind of sensor. If I consider digital, every role has a different sensor and it brings different things.
No, I'm not following. Sorry, I'm not following what you said.
No, see, we have various sensors in digital, right?
Various sensors means
especially
what?
CCD and CMOS.
No, we don't have CCTV anymore.
No, we don't
CCTV
have.
was there in the
CCD
beginning.
people are still using it for fun, but here, a 500D or 250D or 200 brings different kind of recipes to us, and that itself is a fun. And when you go there, for me, I don't get time during the day, so I go at night. So I tried my first road itself was a long experience. So And it's just a 1 year that one just started shooting. So it's fun.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Sir, I do not have a lot of experience. I have used a camera for more than 10 years, but photography is relatively new. I have used a camera. I know my way around it. I know what basic things mean. But actually going out and making decisions, okay, I want this sort of. I used my dad's old point and shoot. And I used to just go out and as a kid and just take pictures of whatever I like. It was easily accessible. My dad wasn't having a heart attack every time I clicked a shot because, I mean, the initial investment was done and it just was one thing after the other. But after seeing what I did back then with my dad's point and shoot, which I still use sometimes as a relic, as something to remember the old days, and the thing that comes to my mind first, and the only thing that I've experienced myself firsthand, is that while shooting on a digital medium, it does push you. I mean, you can resist, of course, if you're human, but it does push you to. I'm afraid I'm quoting it, to a shotgun approach of photography. Just go there and fire, and there isn't much thought before or after. In the moment, oh, like right, I like this, and then I go and then I click it. But I have seen while having my film camera with me that I do, and it is just a fact that sometimes I think, is it really worth it? Is it really worth that shutter? Is it really worth it? And I keep asking myself until either the subject is gone or I do actually make a decision and shoot the photo. That is the only difference that I have experienced.
So, in short, what you're trying to say is digital has made things very simple. Is that what you're saying?
I Describing it is
So the thought process is not that it's very simple now, automatic things like that. Is that what you're trying
well,
to
it
say?
is automatic. I mean, my dad's point and shoot also had a manual mode per se where I could adjust everything, but I didn't find myself doing it. Mostly because I didn't know how to use it, and because, like I said, there was no consequence to that shutter. So I couldn't really sit down and think, should I really take this shot? Is it really worth it? Meanwhile, on film, even if not because money or anything, that every time the shutter counts and things like that, but because of the sense of occasion, I find myself actually slowing down, thinking, is it really worth it? And in that process, I even find that okay, this might not be the right angle. I should choose another.
Okay. Let me ask you all a question.